Hi everyone, this is Dino Chris from Prehistoric Facts. This is a Q&A episode. As you can see, I'm not in the museum right now. I'm actually in my home. So the next Q&A episode, I will be in the museum. So I'll show you a different kind of exhibit some other time. And so, but I'm gonna actually try to stay a little bit warmer here. So anyway, this is a Q&A episode. So let's actually get right to it. Benjamin from Hong Kong got me 3 questions here. Is Gigantopithecus a large prehistoric primate? Is Camaroceras like a giant squid? And how come Baryonyx was never shown in Walking with Dinosaurs? And so your first question is, Gigantopithecus a large prehistoric primate? It is. Because the only things that have been found of Gigantopithecus have been bits of skull and teeth. And they actually can tell that the teeth and the bits of the skull do belong to a gigantic primate. And they actually give it the name Gigantopithecus. Now, a complete skeleton has never been found, and so it's pretty difficult to actually find Gigantopithecus fossils. Due to the fact it's probably because maybe like most other primates, is that they kind of stayed away from areas where there is like a river or anything like that to be buried. But you know, that's always been the question there. But Gigantopithecus is a very large primate, very large. It's probably the largest primate that ever lived. And so it would have been taller than a human. It would actually weighed probably close to 500 pounds, 500 to 600 pounds. So it was a very bulky primate. So very muscular. It would have had the orangutan color of hair all over its body, so it would actually have that orange type of color, maybe a little brown as well, but basically it would actually just be a gigantic primate. It would not have any relation to an orangutan. It would actually almost look like one, but it would actually be like a combination of orangutan and gorilla in a way. So, but yeah, Gigantopithecus is a gigantic primate. Camaroceras like a giant squid. Yeah, it is actually part of the nautiloid family. It is actually a straight cone nautiloid. It was actually featured in Chased by Sea Monsters. It was in the Ordovician time period, where you saw the huge giant nautiloid that was actually in there, feasting on sea scorpions and trilobites. You know, that's what it was. Is that it was actually an ancestor to squid, octopus, and it is part of the mollusk family. That's where squid and octopus are originally part of. They're part of the mollusk family, and so that's why we actually have those invertebrate fossils that have these hard shells in like the Ordovician, Silurian, and even all the way to the Devonian. And so that's why you actually have those types of prehistoric animals like that. Their fossils are found. And there's only been bits and pieces of Camaroceras that have been found. Bits of the shell. So we can only guess what its size is. And the latest I've seen, it was actually the estimated length could actually be 6 meters. And so it's still big. But the previous one was actually 9 meters, so 30 feet. But technically it would have been too big, and so but pretty much I think 6 meters is probably the right length. So yeah, it is part of the giant squid. It is related to giant squid, not a common ancestor, but basically a relative. And how come Baryonyx was never shown in Walking with Dinosaurs? Because there was no setting for it to actually show up in that episode about the pterosaurs. And basically that episode was talking about pterosaurs more often, especially Ornithocheirus. And so pretty much it was not going to actually be shown. But they did place Utahraptor in Europe, which is not accurate, and so Utahraptor stayed in North America. But they had to actually show a cool carnivore, and Utahraptor was a cool carnivore, and so that's what they actually had to do there. And so, but also Baryonyx, there was not that much of specimens that was found. But even though with Baryonyx, Where it was actually categorized of the part of Europe that they were actually focusing on, I'd say that was actually probably a little bit more towards, like, say, France or otherwise Ireland. But even England could actually have been that setting there, and but I'd say they probably didn't even think about Baryonyx that much at all in the late 90s, and also Baryonyx was actually kind of almost a newcomer to paleontology around that particular time, even though it was described in 1986. So pretty much 13 years is still kind of young for a discovery like that, and so that's why it was never shown in Walking with Dinosaurs. But if they did do a remake of Walking with Dinosaurs, I would actually expect more episodes, probably like maybe at least 2 episodes in the Triassic, 3 episodes in the Jurassic, and I would probably go with like 5 episodes in the Cretaceous period. And so that's where I think I would like to actually see 10 episodes of Walking with Dinosaurs instead of just 6. So you extend it to 4 more episodes, and so I would like to see that, but it probably won't happen. And so, but we can only hope. Only hope. That's all I can say. Alright, that's it for now. The next week would be a special episode, and I'm actually going to try to do a prehistoric mammal this time. I'm going to do a prehistoric mammal, a herbivore, so it would actually possibly be something that I can actually look up and find out. And so, and of course, I'm going to be talking about a vertebrate. Maybe I'll actually do something about a rhino. I'll actually do a rhino, because I haven't done a rhino in a while, so a relative of the rhino. And so, stay tuned to find out what prehistoric animal I'm going to be talking about, what kind of prehistoric rhino I'm actually going to be talking about. But if you still want to send me questions about dinosaurs or any other prehistoric life, feel free to email me at dinocris71@gmail.com, or just go to my Facebook page, Prehistoric Facts with Dino Chris. Like the page, you can actually post your questions on the wall or in the comments section. Remember to keep your questions short and to the point. You can also follow me on Twitter at CSGRALL. That's my Twitter page, and I post pretty cool stuff on there. Also, take care of people around you, and also for your younger people out there, make sure to listen to your parents, your teachers, and your guardians. It's the best motivation you could have a good education. It's very important to have a good education. So with a good education, you get a good job in the future. Alright, that's it for now, and I'll see you guys next week.